Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. My name is Reverend Emily Bruce, and I am the minister here. Welcome to First Parish Church in Kingston. It is so good to be together today as we wait for the rain. It's coming. If you're visiting us today, welcome, and thank you for being here today. And let us also now take a moment to say hello to those of you joining us on Zoom. Hello! Thank you for being here today, too. As Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith. A faith that every single person is worthy of love. A faith that what we do in and for our world today is what really matters. And a faith that we are connected by an interdependent web to each other and to our earth home. So whoever you are, whomever you love, and however you choose to make meaning of this world around us, you are welcome here with us this morning. Now, this morning's service, like many services, is all about how we can participate in the work of justice. We know the world is in crisis, and yet so many of us don't know what we specifically can do to help. This year, the Unitarian Universalist Association has chosen a book called Social Change Now. This is it, a guide for reflection and connection as the common read, which means all congregations are invited to read this book and discuss it together. The graphic on the front of your order of service is the, quote, social change map designed by the book's author, Deepa Iyer. This graphic represents all the roles that we can each play as part of our ecosystem of change, and it's meant to help us determine what we can do, each of us, to help the collective whole. So my sermon will dig into this a little bit, and I'll also be leading a very brief and very introductory workshop after church in the Beal House. So please join us there if you're interested. So now, I invite you to get comfortable. If you have not yet silenced your cell phones, will you please do so now? And thank you. Get comfortable in your seat. Let your hands rest wherever it feels natural. Feel your feet on the floor, if they reach the floor, your back against the seat. And join me in taking a deep breath in and out. Let's do that one more time. In and out. Let your heart, let your mind, let your body rest in this sacred space, this space of peace and connection and belonging that we create when we are together. The world and all of its problems will still be there when you re-enter. So for now, let your body and soul find peace in this space with all of us. Let's do one more deep breath in and out. And may our service begin. We will start by lighting our chalice, which is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. And is there a volunteer who would like to come light the chalice while Joan shares some words? Anyone? Anyone? Donna.
This morning, our chalice is lit with these words by Reverend Victoria Safford. There is too much beauty in this world to give up on it yet. And it is always too soon to surrender to cynicism. Bring your doubt, your skepticism, your downright confusion, even your bitterness. But in the midst of all these, in the center, wrap your tender fingers around that still, bright thread of hope. Feel it in your heart, that still, steady hunger for something more. The vision we glimpse every day in the rising sun across the foothills, the light that spreads across the face of the one we love, the look of knowing all there is to know and still loving life, loving us just as it is, just as we are. For this hour, we come to celebrate, to praise, to give thanks, to refuse to give up, to steady ourselves, keepers of hope, brave builders of this still possible world. Come, let us worship together. And if you would now rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, For All That Is Our Life, number 128 in the gray hymnal.
Thank you. As we move into the time of sharing the joys and concerns that are on our hearts here in this space with each other, I invite you to join me in singing Gathered Here, which is printed on a card in your pew, or it is number 389 in the hymnal.
We are part of Mother Nature. We depend on Mother Nature for clean air, for water, for food, for clothing, for everything. And as we destroy one ecosystem after another, as we create worse climate change, worse loss of diversity, we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place for the children alive today and for all those who will follow. You have it within your power to make a difference. Don't give up. There is a future for you. Do your best while you're still on this beautiful planet Earth, and know that I look down upon you from where I am.
I could sincerely listen to Joan read the phone book. That's not a joke. I couldn't not say that in that moment. Okay. You get to choose the difference you make. That is the most important line for me in that beautiful reading. Jane Goodall had an incredible impact on our world, and while I know I'm not alone in being really inexpressibly sad that she has passed on, I know that her words and her work will continue to inspire generations to work for a world of justice and compassion, including all of us, I hope, I pray. Today's service is inspired, as I said in the beginning, by this book, Social Change Now, but this sermon is really all about you and me, all of us, about how we live our faith. Not why, but how. So the why is pretty apparent these days, I think. I don't think I need to unpack that, although I do it a lot. Every week we name all of the injustices, all of the suffering, all of the cruelty we see on display in our world. There's very little need to explain why our faith is centered on love, why we have to work to bring and highlight the most marginalized voices, why we need to lift them up, and why we know that justice really is the only pathway to peace. But the perennial question that I ask myself, that some of you sometimes ask me, and I can only assume you're asking each other, is how? How do we make a difference in such a broken world? What are the steps? What is the method that I can adopt that will make a meaningful difference? There is no one answer to that question, of course, I'm sorry to say. There's no one method, there's no one way, and I find that, to be honest, very frustrating. I just want someone to tell me what to do to fix it. Am I alone in that? I didn't think so. So this book is helping me reframe the mindset of mine that keeps asking that question. Because we do know that we exist in relationship to each other and to the rest of the world. We are part of multiple overlapping ecosystems of relationship, not just in our faith, but in the world at large. So trying to find that one thing to do that will fix things is kind of like expecting to need only one tool to build a house, right? The hammer is important. You can't do a lot without a good hammer. But the hammer's not the only thing you need to get the job done. So if our ecosystem is a house, to extend this metaphor a little bit, you need all the tools. You need plumbing and wiring and HVAC and sheetrock and lumber and all the other things. I've never built a house, so that's where my knowledge ends. But so many different elements with different functions and different purposes needed to work together to make the whole. And we know this, theoretically. This is not earth-shattering information that I'm sharing with all of you. So here's another example. Some of you know that I'm on the board of the Matthew Mission Food Pantry, that food pantry located at the UU Church in Taunton, the food pantry you buy all that spaghetti sauce and pasta for. So I'm on the board, and I also show up and volunteer at their monthly distribution. And yesterday was distribution day, and I was there, ready to do the job that they always have me do, which is working the check-in desk. The guy who runs the pantry, his name is Norm, has carefully explained to me that my job will always, always, always be to run the check-in table. Because I've got a friendly face, and he wants a friendly face saying hi to the clients who come in each month. He also makes sure to introduce me to everyone as Reverend Emily, though I don't ask for that, because I think he thinks that if people know they're talking to a minister, they'll be nicer. Because sometimes people aren't nice. They're poor, they're tired, they're laboring under an unfair and unjust system. Many of them are there to get food for an entire multi-generational household. So tempers get short. People can sometimes be a little mean. So me, with my face and my Rev title, is put right out there in front to greet people, to welcome them, to check their membership number off on our list, and to help Norm keep the peace. And I'm good at it. I think you all know I'm good at basically saying hi to people. I know I can do it, and I know I can do it well, and frankly, I like doing it. I like the chance to say hello to all of those people and smile and treat them with the compassion that they deserve, especially when they don't probably get much of that compassion anywhere else. I hope to help them find a little bit of kindness there. And I like to play with the little kids when they bring in their kids, especially if we've got like toys or candy to give out. I love giving out little toys to kids. You just make their day, and it's just awesome. And all of these little interactions help me remember that we're all human, we're all connected, and we're all trying to do our very best, some of us with very, very limited resources. Now, yesterday, during distribution, towards the end, where the line had kind of petered out, some of the other volunteers do what they do at the end of every distribution day. They start restocking the shelves. And I didn't have anyone to help. There was no one waiting to go through. So I thought, well, I'm going to help. So I got up and I grabbed a cart full of canned goods and I wheeled it over to the shelves and I started restocking the shelves. I put the canned vegetables with the canned vegetables and the soup with the soup, etc. And I'm going along my merry little way, and all of a sudden I hear a voice go, "Emily, stop!" And I stop and I turn around, and there's one of our longtime volunteers, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm stocking the shelf." She's like, "Well, stop it. We have a system, and you're doing it all wrong." Apparently there are rules about stocking. And my lack of attention to detail, which admittedly is not one of my strong suits, I will own that, caused a teensy bit of mayhem. So she marches over. She's a lovely woman, by the way. Don't think she's a meanie, but she marched over. She's like, "I got this. I got this. Go back to your desk." She immediately undoes everything I've done and puts it back in its correct place. It was a little humiliating, I won't lie. You know, I'm an educated woman. I feel like I can stock shelves, but apparently not. So a little humbled, I went back to what I was good at, and I stopped trying to do something I wasn't good at. Like Jane Goodall said, you get to choose the difference you make. And this experience reminded me that it is possible to choose wrongly. But so many of us, when we think about doing justice work, we make assumptions that only certain kinds of work matter. If you're not willing to cold call voters or show up on the front lines of a march or do something else that made to you feel risky, if you're not willing to do that, then there's nothing for you to do. But friends, I'm here to tell you, or rather to remind you, that to protect and restore our fragile ecosystem, there are many roles, and all of us are needed. So look at the front of your order of service for a second. Look at all of the options listed there: weavers, healers, frontline responders, experimenters, and more. I know you don't know what all of these mean. Come to the workshop afterwards, you'll learn a little bit. But we are all called to do the work of justice. But we can all be called in very different ways. And we should be called in different ways, because we all have different strengths, different gifts, and different ways of filling our spirit by responding to the world around us. And if we don't know what our ways are, we can do some real damage to our spirits trying to do work that is not ours to do. I'm going to say that one more time. If you don't know what you're supposed to do, you can do real damage to your spirit by trying to force yourself to do something that is not yours to do. So I didn't grow up in a socially conscious family. No shade to my parents, but we just didn't live that kind of life. We weren't connected to a church that worked on justice issues. And I'm embarrassed to admit that I was largely ignorant of much of the AIDS crisis until I got to college. Can you believe that? College was in the early 90s. So I got to college, and I became a theater major, and finally started hanging around with a bunch of liberals. All of this is to say that I've always been timid when it came to speaking out and using my voice. And I still am in some ways, though I have to say becoming a UU minister has certainly helped me break through some of those boundaries. But for much of my life, I didn't see justice work as giving me any options other than being loud and righteous and angry. All things that this good girl felt very uncomfortable with. Anyone else feel that? So it was working in the theater, specifically the public theater in New York, that started to open that door for me. I started to see how my work supporting artists who wrote the plays about the social injustices of our time was actually important. I realized that I was part of the ecosystem and my role mattered, that without the theater company to give that artist's voice a platform, the world would not be able to hear that message. Then, many years later, I heard a quote in seminary that really crystallized this thinking for me. The theologian Frederick Buechner says this, quote, "The place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet." I'm going to say that one more time. The place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. Now, if God language doesn't work for you, feel free to edit that part out of your brain. But where you are called is where your deep gladness, your joy, your fulfillment, your love, your connection meets the world's hunger. Isn't that beautiful? Because as with all things, it's not an either or. It never was. It is always a both and. Doing the work of justice does not require you to put yourself and your concerns aside, because you need to bring all of you, all of your talents, your skills, your thoughts, your concerns, all of you needs to come to the table in order to get the work done. And throughout my life, and honestly, in really profound ways these days, I have tried to ask myself, what is it that I can do? Where and how can I give ways that feed the mission and also feed me? You may think that's selfish, but what I've really tried to live into is the truth that the movement needs my fulfillment to help it be fulfilled. Think about that for a second. The movement needs my fulfillment in order for it to be fulfilled. That the more I do work that I'm not good at, that doesn't make me feel connected, that won't inspire me, the more the movement suffers. Again, it may seem narcissistic to put myself and my fulfillment at the center of these concerns, but that's what makes this work sustainable. And we have a long row to hoe here, as my dad would say. There's nothing about the work that we are called to do right now that will be short or convenient. This is a long haul of work that we have to do. So we get to choose. We get to choose what our work will be. We get to learn how we ourselves, our individual selves, will best make a difference in the world. We get to try things out. We get to learn and grow. And all the while, we get to be part of this fragile and important ecosystem that needs all of us, every single one of us, to survive. Every single day you live, you make a difference in the world. And you get to choose the difference that you make. So give yourself the time and the space to choose with wisdom, with courage, and most of all, with love. May it be so. Amen.
When we give, we say yes to something we value. In this congregation, we take up an offering each week to say yes to the values of our UU faith and yes to this beloved community. You may place your offering in the plate as it passes, or you may give it to the church via Venmo. There's a QR code in your order of service. If you do give via Venmo, please make sure to write one of two things on the memo line. If your contribution is part of your annual pledge to support the church, please write pledge. Otherwise, please write plate in the memo line and give as you are able, just as you know your offering will be so gratefully received. Today, our anthem for offering is I Dream a World, music by Andre Thomas, and words by the great Black poet Langston Hughes. Before we sing our closing hymn, we have a few announcements. Please don't count. If you're visiting us today, we invite you to join us after the service for coffee hour in the Beal House right across the street next to the parking lot. Be sure to check out our info island, the welcome table, where you may sign up for our newsletter, learn more about us, and sign up for circle dinners. This is where small groups get together to break bread together, to get acquainted, to open our hearts to each other, and meet new people. Towards the end of the coffee hour today, Reverend Emily will be offering a brief introductory workshop on social change now, the book that inspired our service today. If you'd like to join, meet her at the fireplace at the end of coffee hour, fireplace in the Beal House. You don't need to have the book. She will have printouts for what you might wish to take home and peruse. There is a reminder that we are still collecting pasta sauce and all kinds of pasta for the Matthew Mission Food Pantry, housed in the UU congregation in Taunton. Please contribute as you're able. Anytime you go to the grocery store, just one more little box of pasta. Maybe you're only getting a quart of milk. Pick up a jar of spaghetti sauce. Also, the social justice team would love some more volunteers to help with the monthly delivery of our collection to the food pantry. Please see Linda Loring if you would like to sign up. Please notice we have new signs out in front of the church delineating a no parking area right in front of the entrance. It's on 10 feet either side of the crosswalk. This is to make it easier for cars to see pedestrians in the crosswalk. We've learned that there have been near misses because with cars parked bumper to bumper along there, people could not see there were folks trying to cross the street till they were all the way out in it. It will make life so much easier for all of us to get across that busy street. My next note is to remind everyone we're selling tickets during coffee hour for the Emma's Revolution concert, coming to our sanctuary on Friday, October 24 at 7 p.m. There is a table next to the info island where those tickets are being sold. They're $25 in advance. You can pay by cash, check, Venmo, or scan the QR code at the table to buy tickets via the Emma's Revolution website. Reverend Emily needs a volunteer to run this table next Sunday. Please see her if you can help out. And then, just a really important announcement regarding protecting our care. 6:30 this coming Tuesday, here in First Parish, state representatives, educators, concerned citizens are meeting to take a look at the federal budget cuts, how they may filter down to trigger a major healthcare, hunger, and education crisis in Massachusetts. Unless we act, these cuts will harm us all. And there are things we can do. So please attend, and if you'd like more information, check it out with Bob or Kelly, and know that all are welcome. Now, please rise in body or in spirit to join in singing our closing hymn, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, 1008 in the Teal Hymnal.
Holy place,
may all of you discover the ways that your deep gladness can meet and serve the world's hunger. And as we extinguish our chalice, let us share the warmth of its light with our world as we go in peace with love for ourselves and each other. May it be so, and amen.
Do you still need this note? Sorry? Do you still need this note? I can go do the. What do you think you're doing? I'm looking for